Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and in this video I'm going to reveal the secret strategy you can implement in order to wrap up 5-figure launches. It's the exact strategy we have implemented and implement over and over and over again, and we wrapped up a 40k organic launch utilizing these strategies. This creator made 8 times his investment back by implementing this strategy. This creator enrolled 7 new clients by implementing the strategy first time around. This creator wrapped up an 8% conversion rate, and this creator a 12.5% conversion rate. And if you haven't subscribed just yet and you want to sell more courses, hit that subscribe button, push that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the new videos which are coming out in the future. So let's get this party started. So in order to hit a 5-figure launch, and very important for me to mention is you can do this in week number 6 by starting completely from zero with no email list and no social media following. Everybody can do this. I can't stress this enough. Everybody can do this if you put in the work and just follow the roadmap. So really there are 3 components which you need to implement into the strategy and follow the exact step-by-step guide in order to hit your own 5-figure launch. And if you watch until the very end, I will reveal the exact financial formula which you can calculate right now, there and then, from wherever you're watching this video, and figure out how many leads you need to have signed up for your email list, how many people need to be registered for your challenge or webinar, and how many conversions you need in order to hit your own 5-figure launch. So let's get this party started. Another thing, what is very important is you need to implement all of these 3 components, and if you miss one of them, it's not going to work, okay? Number 1, structured content. You need to have structured content in place. May this be within your curriculum, the actual program, or as well in the content you're putting out there on social media platforms. So what we're trying to eliminate here is creating a really bad product, and what we're working towards is an amazing product. So the first step within structured content is to do the research and the validation of your course idea, of your coaching idea, of your service idea, really for any kind of business idea. You need to make sure you do the proper research and you set the right foundation. You need to build a very strong foundation at the very beginning when starting your online business. If you don't know how to research or to validate, click the link in the description below and take the challenge. There's a 4-day challenge where I will teach you exactly that, how to find your course idea, how to research it, how to validate it, how to find your ICA, how to find your market proposition. Then the second step within structured content is the curriculum and the MVP. MVP stands for minimal viable product. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I stress about this very much. To first sell the course, the coaching program, the service, whatever it is that you're selling, sell it first before you create it, and then go out and create it with your audience together, right? If you run a beta round, these are the best students you can ever get because they give you real-time feedback. And in order to create a really great product, you have to have a mix of both. Number 1, the content needs to be added that you think as the expert your students need in order to achieve their end transformation. And number 2, it's what they want to learn. It needs to be a mix of those 2 in order to build a really great scalable product. So that was the first component, structured content. And within structured content, you need to research and validate the idea. And number 2, create a curriculum with an MVP, minimal viable product. Component number 2, leads and marketing. I can't stress this enough. So what we're working towards here is from no audience to fill your spots in your events. That's the goal. But how are we going to do that? We're going to create magnetic messaging, okay? We do need to attract the right people and we need to repel the wrong people. Key. This is very, very key and also ties into the first point, the structured content, a little bit. You need to have your marketing message right. You need to speak to the right audience. If you speak to everyone, you definitely speak to no one. So work on your messaging, work on your copywriting, and know exactly who you're talking to, what problem you're solving, and what is in it for them. Second point, attract and convert leads. So once we're putting out our messages, once we're putting out our content, we want to attract the right people again and repel the wrong people, but then we want to convert the people as well, the leads as well. We want to warm them up, right? But how are we going to convert them? Which leads us into point number 3, conversion events. This really depends on your price point. There's a rule of thumb which says if you charge anything above $2,000, you need to get on the phone, put some FaceTime in, and really chat with your people over the phone so you can address objections right there and then. However, if any of the price points are below $2,000, maybe $997, $1,500, $497, whatever the price is, you don't really need to pick up the phone, and there are really other strategies which you can implement in order to convert your leads. So one thing I teach is the CPC method, which stands for connect, problem, and convert. Number one, you connect with the person, right? You identify their problems and then you convert them into whatever the conversion needs to be at that moment. And by that, I don't mean necessarily selling, right? Yes, conversion could mean you sell more of your courses and could mean you sell more of your coaching, but it could also mean you convert them into a call. You can convert them into watching your challenge. You can convert them into downloading the freebie and so on. So back to my previous point, attracting and converting the leads, right? Attract the leads through magnetic messaging and convert them according to your price point. In this particular strategy, which allowed us to wrap up 40K without needing to pick up the phone, we charged 1,500 for our program, and then we had some upsells in the back end. So this way, we didn't need to pick up the phone and we could just send a checkout page and people checked out purchasing right there and then. But how did we convert them? This leads us to point number 3, the launch strategy. This is the most important thing when you're just getting started. I mean, you can launch over and over and over again. Also, when you're already established and things like that, it's a nice activity to do. Launching is always a really nice cash injection, right? But the money comes in a flood once. You enroll loads of people once, right? Versus the stability, the consistent cash comes in by implementing different strategies afterwards. But if you're just getting started, you need to launch. There's no other way around that. We are going to make this really easy. The problem we are going to solve here is reducing the launch overwhelm and working towards launching with ease. What do I mean by that? Okay, so we run challenges and webinars in order to launch our courses and coaching programs. And the key here is, number one, warm up and nurture. You need to warm up your people, you need to nurture your people. It really depends on what kind of stage your audience is at. Are they problem aware? Are they not problem aware? Are they educated on a problem? If not, you need to put out content which educates them on the problem. If they are already educated on the problem, you would definitely need to still put out content and warm up and nurture your audience and really all the time point back to the benefits, to the better life they're getting by going through the program and achieving this particular transformation. Once you've warmed up and nurtured your audience, it's time to run your conversion event. So we run challenges and webinars. And again, it depends on your price point, what kind of event you're going to run. But you warm up, you nurture your audience, then you launch the event, the conversion event, the challenge or the webinar. And then you present the information, right? You just deliver value, 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 make that connection with the people. And when it's live, you can do this on Evergreen and Autopilot. Great, amazing. But when it's live, you've got a greater chance to actually address people's names and to really make a connection with them and to answer any questions they may have right there and then, okay? Then you open the card during your presentation, maybe day 3. If it's a challenge, right, it's a 4-day challenge, open card day 2 or 3. And if it's a webinar, you sell at the end, right? Problem? Pay attention though that you do not overteach. I can't stress this enough as well. There is a fine line to not overteaching your people, and there is a fine line to still providing value because people are still coming and spending time with you. So you do want them to walk away with something tangible in their hands, with some sort of mini results, with some sort of belief that they have now they can do the thing. However, you don't want to overteach because if people think they can do it themselves anyway, it's not going to help both of you. It's not going to help you. You're not going to make the sale, but also, as we all know, people who think, oh, they can do it themselves, probably never gonna do it. They try, they fail, maybe they try again, they fail again, and then they give up. This is typically what we've been seeing over the past few years in the industry. People who try to do it themselves will not get there. So it's really your duty to really, really, really learn the skill of launching and conversion event the right way and not overteach, because it's better for you and the student. This is the full cycle. This is the golden launch cycle. Structure, content, leads and marketing, and launch strategy. But now you may ask, but how does all of this translate into a 5-figure launch, Tina? Come on, give us the financial formula. Let's do it. Okay, so let's assume your course price is $997, okay? Let's assume your conversion rate is 4%, and that's 4K for every 100 people watching. If you get 100 people watching your challenge and you convert 4 people times $1,000, that's $4,000, okay? So to be able to hit 10,000, you need 250 people signed up for your webinar or challenge. In 5-figure course launch, I will teach you how to get hundreds of people on the list and launch in week 6 or 7, depending on your progress. Let's look at Anna here. She had a 12.5% conversion rate running a webinar in her first time ever. She ran a vegan cafe in Germany. When COVID hit, she needed to do something else and she decided to go and do vegan baking, create a vegan baking course. And her conversion rate was 12.5% first time running her second time when running her webinar. First time was 8% conversion rate, second time 12.5. And she has never done any online stuff before. Okay, so it's really, really possible for everyone out there who has never done this before, who is starting from zero with no email list and who is starting with no social media followers. Okay, so let's say you're running a webinar and your course price is 1,500, right? To hit 10K, those 5 figures per month or per launch, you would need to sell 7 people within that particular launch, right? So let's say your activity is the webinar like it was for this client here. Let's say you're selling for 1,500 and then the attendees needed is 70 people, right? How are you going to calculate this? Easy math. 10% equals 7 people, 100% equals what? How many people do we need to attend, right? We know we need to sell 7 spots. If we know 10K is the goal, if we divided it by 1,500, that is 7. So need to just figure out what is the 100%. In order to figure 100% out, we just multiply 100 multiplied by 7 divided by 10 equals 70. That's the number of attendees needed for our conversion event. Just like this client, she actually enrolled 7 people in her first time running a challenge. Robyn is a chiropractor and she wanted more time back. She runs her own physical business in the office and she wanted to have something more passive, and she is teaching people how to manage ADHD better. Again, this was her first time launching a course. She actually did it. She actually went through it. She chose to launch via challenge and she enrolled 7 new people. First time launching, no experience, no email list, no social media followers. One of the last examples is if your course price would be 2,500, your goal is 25K, sales is then 10, because 25,000 divided by 2,500 equals 10, right? So your activity is a challenge, and let's say 7% is the conversion rate. People you need to have watching is 143. Now I want you to go away and sit down for a second with this exact financial formula. I want you to write down these 3 things. What's your goal? Is it 10,000? Is it 15,000? Is it $20,000 for your next launch? Then I want you to write down the price of your course divided by the goal, whatever that number is, right? And then calculate the number of people who need to attend the event in order for the conversion to happen, okay? If you've done this, let me know in the comments below. What is your goal? What's the answer? How many people do you need watching in order to hit your financial goal? If you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on super duper mega tricks and tips on how to sell more courses and coaching programs and services. Which leads me to today's sponsor, Coach Marketing Hub. Coach Marketing Hub is the all-in-one platform which replaces all your other subscriptions out there, okay? You can replace ClickFunnels, Kajabi, ConvertKit, Calendly, Acuity, Vimeo, you name it. There's 15 different apps Coach Marketing Hub replaces. And if you want to get your free trial, click the link in the description below, get yourself signed up and benefit from a free onboarding session where we will build your first funnel for free with you together.